Hello and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I'm doing a reading for the sign of Taurus for the second part of August for the time period of August 15 through the 31st. Please remember that this is a general reading. There may be some parts that do not resonate with you. Please take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest behind. You may also want to check out your other signs. I've already meditated on the cards. I've already shuffled the cards, and this is the spread that I have for you today. Taurus, in the past position we have the moon, clarified by the Hierophant. In the challenging position we have the Knight of Wands, clarified by the Three of Swords. In the present position we have the Knight of Cups, clarified by the Two of Swords. And in the future outcome position, we have the Four of Swords, clarified by the Ace of Cups. I also pulled two Energy Oracle cards and two Ancestors and Angels cards. But let's start with the Moon and the Hierophant. The Moon usually symbolizes the unknown. It usually symbolizes energy that is kind of covered by the darkness. It is about being guided by your intuition, because in the dark you cannot really see where you're going. So it's sort of using your senses to move forward, which means that there's, lack of clarity, which means that there is not such, you can't really have a guarantee of the outcome. It is the unknown. Something is being hidden, from view. This card could also symbolize illusions or delusions or dreams, kind of thinking about things that maybe are not very realistic, spending time, in the clouds a little bit. And the good thing is that we have the Hierophant as the clarifier, because the Hierophant is represented by Taurus, a very grounded person, an authority figure. We see that he's teaching two people in the card. He's imparting wisdom, so that they can then, be wise, turn around and teach other people. He symbolizes someone like, maybe an older friend that you look up to, or a parent, or, maybe a teacher, a mentor, some kind of an authority figure in something. And he definitely makes, things better. He follows rules. He's very traditional. He definitely has a lot of wisdom that he uses, to his benefit. And so in the combination, for some of you, it could be that you used to be a little bit in your kind of dreams, and then you wised up because, an event took place that kind of woke you up a little bit. And so, you started to see the reality for what it really is, and you started actually sharing and imparting wisdom that you've learned based on maybe expectations that you had that did not work out. It could also be that for some of you, the divine is urging you to, because of the Hierophant influence here, for some of you, it could be that the divine is influencing you to look at your past successes and your past failures and really dig deep, trying to figure out why you have maybe a certain pattern of behavior that is reoccurring, that is maybe preventing you from achieving what it is that you want, from maybe following through. In the negative position, we've got the Knight of Wands and the Three of Swords. The Knight of Wands is a very romantic, very kind of sweet person, kind of harmonious. He's also flirtatious, and he's very fast moving. So this could be about moving fast without really thinking. And of course, the Three of Swords is a heartbreak card, a card of sadness, a card of betrayal. It is about someone using the hurtful words maybe as swords, because of course swords represent words, and definitely for some of you this could signify a disagreement that you may have had with someone that really means a lot to you. It could also, for some, mean that you're maybe carrying wounds from the past, and you're allowing the wounds, the hurt that you've experienced in other events that have already occurred, to influence your way of progressing. We can limit ourselves better than anyone else can, because of fear, because of doubt, because of speaking negatively to ourselves in our own head, because of negative habits that we may have, because of an erroneous belief that we don't deserve the best, and that we are not the best. I mean, Tauruses work very hard. They're very diligent. They're loyal. Very good people, Tauruses. And so sometimes they are a little bit stubborn, and sometimes they are a little bit not so nice to themselves. So that's definitely a warning from the divine to pay attention to that. But the combination here is that someone could be leaving, someone that you are a little bit aware. Like, I don't think it's not I'm not seeing a surprise that someone could be leaving. I think that things are not going well in some relationship, and it could be that people are parting ways. But for most of you, what I'm seeing is that you're doing too much, so you could be burning out. Tauruses tend to work very hard, and so sometimes you kind of take on too much, make too many promises, which then kind of backfires. It could also be that you are rushing towards something without really thinking. So it's very important to be emotionally smart, emotionally intelligent about which direction you're moving to, and how you're getting there, so that there's a detailed plan. Because if you're rushing because of a false sense of urgency, then you're definitely going to receive a very big block in your way, blockage of energy. In the present position, we have the Knight of Cups, and as you can see, the Knight of Wands is heading one direction, and the Knight of Cups is heading in the Knight of Wands is heading towards the past, and the Knight of Cups is heading towards the future. So definitely the Knight of Cups is a wonderful card. Water element, and it's going to bring a few days at least of wonderful emotions during the second part of August. The Cups energy usually provide fulfillment, contentment, optimism even. The person on this horse is riding gracefully, elegantly. His movements are kind of powerful. This person is someone that understands that victory can be achieved without having to do battle, but maybe through savviness or cleverness. And so because of that, you save much more energy, and you can actually turn that energy to something that you want to invest in, and thereby making your world a little bit better. So the Knight of Cups is a very, very positive card. For some, it could mean that there are piece of good news that are coming your way, and then which could result for many of you in getting some rest. But as the clarifier, we've got the Two of Swords, which is not the best card. Again, we see the moon. The moon is coming up. The Two of Swords is a card that things are getting better for you. If you notice, you have the Three of Swords here, but as you progress, you have the Two of Swords here. So you're healing. You are I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit because the Ace of Cups is about healing, but because the number of swords are reducing, that means the negative energy around you is reducing. That means hurtful words around you is reducing. It's coming, it's getting calmer, it's getting better, it's getting to a point where you can focus on what it is that you want, and what it is that you really want to invest your time in and energy in. There's going to be a few days that you're going to really enjoy in the second part of August, and it's going to propel you forward, making September and October also very positive months. So definitely good news are coming your way, but there will be a little bit of a pause because you've got the Two of Swords, which suggests a bit of a setback, as this person is blinded, and this person is holding two swords, meaning they can't make a decision. They have equal arguments for both sides, which makes it to make a decision very difficult. But this is in a clarifier position, and swords are fast energy. This is not going to last for more than 2 or 3 days, and eventually you will make a decision because I have got the Ace of Cups here, which is always a good beginning card, so you're definitely moving in the right direction. But there will be a day or two where you will feel not sure how you should proceed, where you will be a little bit surprised and a little bit taken aback. Swords have that double energy, double-edged energy, where if you are progressing in the direction that you want, that's wonderful, but it's going to cost something. So I think that's what is going to make you pause and make a decision. You're going to have a little bit of an anxiety over this decision because you're not going to be sure right at that moment if you're making the right decision, but it looks to me that you are going to make the right decision because you've got the Four of Swords and the Ace of Cups in the future position. Of course, the Four of Swords suggests healing and recuperation and rejuvenation, a period of rest. And in the future, position, it means finding some peace and finding some healing. For some of you, however, it could mean that you are looking back at this Two of Swords, having to make a decision. For some of you, the Four of Swords and the Ace of Cups could be that you are looking at the future a little bit in a way where you're idealizing it, making it better than it really is. So make sure that you really, really, really see the reality of the situation. And the only way I think you can do that is if you actually go for it. For example, if you are thinking about, pursuing a new career, or like switching universities to study, or maybe you are thinking about moving or relocating, go and visit that place, see what it's like, and then maybe that will help you make a decision. It could be, that you, before taking on, a lot of debt for a degree, you could work alongside people that have that degree, sort of taking something for a test drive. That way you can prevent yourself from putting on the rose glasses. But the divine is warning you here a little bit, so keep that in the back of your head, of course, for the second part of August. Let's see what we can clarify with the two energy oracle cards that I pulled. And we've got Hostilities and Patience. I don't know how I feel about the Hostilities card. Certainly was not expecting it. I mean, the divine loves to throw a curveball, doesn't it? This card indicates defense is up, aggressive energy. This card shows a man raising his sword in readiness to do battle. When it comes upright, it reveals a situation where hostilities toward you are about to be or have already been engaged. The aggressive energy may be verbal or emotional, with someone in your environment being excessively critical, demanding, or hurtful. In a work or social situation, there may be backstabbing or out-and-out slander going on. This is different from the deceit card because the hostile energies are more apparent, more overt. In fact, you may have been living with them for some time, but whether this or new or old energy, or whether this is new or old energy, now is the time to regain control. Allowing dishonoring treatment from others is an open invitation to the universe to send you more. It may feel risky, but you need to have the courage to stand up for yourself now and always. So you managed to, you definitely managed to put off at least one person. Or very shortly you'll be able to manage that. There's definitely someone that maybe doesn't see things the way you do and doesn't have your perspective, and definitely has a little bit of an apprehensive view towards you. The most important thing here is to assess your enemy. How dangerous is that enemy? And usually the best way to proceed is to avoid a battle if possible. I don't know if you're familiar, but there was a Chinese general in ancient times. His name was Sun Tzu, and he wrote this book, The Art of War, and he, for him, and many people followed that teaching. The best way to win a war is to not engage. And to me, for some reason, this relates with the Knight of Cups, because he is very smart about how he wins wars, and he definitely doesn't, he kind of charms his way. He kind of has a charismatic way about them, being nice and whatnot, but definitely be on guard for this. Patience is a very positive card. And the further meaning is that peaceful presence and letting go of desperation. This card shows a beautiful angel holding a clock in the stillness of winter. Her quiet, peaceful energy is telling you that it's time to release the old urgency and to look at things which with a much clearer perspective. When this card is upright, it's telling you to relax and let go of the single-minded desperation that's been driving you. Don't try to force your will on only one option. When you think there's only one option to satisfy your need or to make you happy, you're blocking many other potential solutions from coming your way. Let go of the anxiety and be flexible. Be patient, open, creative. Choose to be peaceful in the present. The universe has more options than you may be aware of. Quiet your mind, broaden your perspective, and let them come through. So definitely the divine is saying that the way you counter this negative low vibration energy is by being patient. Don't engage. That is what I'm understanding from this reading. And that is something that is actually close to my heart. I don't advise engaging unless you are kind of ready to just go full war, and that always creates problems later on, loose ends and whatnot. So make sure that you are patient with others and nice and kind of diplomatic, not attracting too much negative energy to yourself if you can. Ancestors and angels have for us: Knight, be brave and honest, and Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. Again, for some reason I feel like this is a very powerful card for the Knight and the Ace of Cups. You will definitely experience moments of happiness. Don't zero in on the Hostilities card. That card is there for a reason to just make sure that maybe the divine wants you to brush up on your skills, how you handle conflict in social situations maybe. Again, this may not apply to all of you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. The further explanation for the Water Guardian is, let me see, take time to understand how you really feel. Know that your sensitivity is not a curse, but a gift that allows you to receive and understand messages directly from your soul. Your angels want you to know that it is okay to feel the emotions that are surfacing in you at this time. It doesn't matter if they're joyous or sad. They're all powerful messengers that allow you to understand what you want and need. Taking time to breathe and acknowledge them lets them flow through you rather than crashing down on you as an overwhelming wave. So definitely the water kind of motion, the motion of, like, for example, an ocean, the way waves break. Make sure that you recognize anytime you feel anger or perhaps resentment or disappointment, and make sure that you don't go from 0 to 50, very quickly. Make sure that you allow those feelings to exist and to acknowledge them. That way they kind of get processed much faster. Note that there are also intuitive psychic messages arising in you at this time, and unless you acknowledge everything as it comes up, you may miss important guidance that can lead to support and love. So definitely remember that your sensitivity is a gift. Ooh, wow, that thunder is really strong. Remember that your sensitivity is a gift. It kind of is tied into your intuition. You may not understand why you feel something, but if you feel it, it's important. Not acknowledging your feelings is very unhealthy. The Knight card suggests do the right thing, even if it isn't the easiest option. Stand for what you know to be right and true. Accept your emotions, stand for what you believe in. The energy of respect is important right now. You're being encouraged to figure out what is important to you and what you stand for. If you're in a space where there's opposition, you're being guided to follow through the integrity, because even if it seems this will slow your progress, your rewards will be much more abundant. You're being surrounded by a light of bravery to help you. This card also brings justice. If you're longing for justice, please know that the universal energies are working to bring everything back into order, and that you don't need to force anything through with your will. If you have made any mistakes recently, it's important to take ownership of them so that you can align yourself with improving the situation. If you're feeling the need to defend your spiritual path at this time, back down and let it protect you. Definitely I'm getting a very strong vibe from this reading that let the situation unfold. Don't engage, if someone says something not so pleasant to you, kind of respond with silence. Don't engage. Don't be, kind of quietly aggressive, but just, ignore it. Your energy is much more precious. And let karma, as the Knight here says, let karma just kind of wash over and figure it out. You are an incredible, strong, beautiful, amazing, accomplished person. You don't need to, get down and argue with someone or have conflict. You can just sort of walk away and go do something fun. But in the second part of August, you're going to have at least a little bit of a mini vacation, maybe a few days off. Make sure that you use that time to do something nice for yourself. Even if you can't really leave the house, or you can't really go, to many different places, try and do something nice for yourself. Try and really pamper yourself if you can. That way, you will celebrate the end of summer, and that will make you feel better. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, Taurus, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please feel free to leave any comments. I enjoy old feedback. feedback, not old, but all feedback. And it also helps me connect with your energies. Also, please check back next week. I will be doing, actually towards the end of next week, I will be doing readings for the month of September. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.